Hi there, Cosmic Family. My name is Yahliali in this incarnation. I am here today to talk about the energies of this next week, and I am going to unify everything with the new moon in Leo that we are going to have on August 4th, because, well, many of the transits that we are going to experiment are also part of the configuration of that new moon. So, well, let's start with Venus. Venus is in Leo, and this is the last week of Venus in Leo because that day, the same day of the new moon, it is going to enter in Virgo. So, Venus is the planet associated to the relationship with ourselves and how that it is reflected on the outside in the relationships on the outside. Also, it is linked with the things that we feel attracted to, the things that we give value to. And well, this Venus in Leo wants to express its creativity, its light, and it is creating a trine with Chiron. It is active since today, and it is going to be perfected on July 30. So Chiron is this asteroid associated to the wounds linked with our identity because it is in Aries. The insecurities that many times are preventing us from opening the path, expressing ourselves in independence. So it is, because it is a trine, it is a harmonic aspect and a very nice opportunity to do an integration and acceptance of those wounds and to choose to operate in a different way, to not allow them to stop us in our way to shine, that is Venus in Leo, and to choose the things that are really contributing with value in our experience. So, on the other hand, Venus in Leo, it is also going to create a square attention with Uranus in Taurus. And this is active the whole week. It is also part of the configuration of the new moon. It is going to be perfected on August 1st. So this transit, it is very linked with, when we talk about Uranus, energy of change. Many times very disruptive in terms of resources, in terms of relationships too. Many times it is about scenes and situations that are unexpected, but they are pushing us to make changes in our experience, to let go of limiting structures in places that we cannot reveal our own essence or express ourselves in an authentic way too. So that is the square between Venus and Uranus, but this is also part of the configuration, of the new moon. So it is active the whole week. Many times Uranus, it is also about these downloads of information, this call that we are receiving to assume decisions and expressing our light through what is really, contributing with our growth in terms of Venus in Leo. So this next week, the Sun in Leo is going to create a sextile with Mars in Gemini and also a trine with the North Node and a sextile with the South Node. But these transits, I'm going to unify them with the new moon because they are participating. So new moon, it is given in August 4th in the degree 12. So people that have planets close to the degree 12 of fixed signs, Aquarius, Scorpio, Leo, Taurus, or have ascendant in fixed signs will feel probably this transit much stronger. So this is a beginning of a cycle of 6 months. The fruits that we are going to bear, they are coming in February of 2025. So this new moon, Sun and Moon are going to be united and in trine with the North Node in Aries and in a sextile with the South Node in Libra, which is telling us that this is a very, very good opportunity, a very, very good evolutionary opportunity to assume a step that it is calling us to integrate something new, to operate again in independence, to open our way, expressing who we are, through our identity. And this is very shared, by the energies of fire. I'm going to talk about Leo specifically right now, but it is very shared, in terms of Leo and Aries, talking about them. So, well, Leo is the energy that refers to the light that we all have. That unique light, the talents, the creativity, whatever thing we came here to irradiate. And the talents and creativity through which we can also obtain certain recognition. But it is very, very important with this energy to understand that the recognition, the identification of what we came to give in a generous way, it is an individual process, and it is very, very vital to express this light in its highest vibration to cultivate the recognition of self-love, in order, to do things and to operate in a way in which we are not seeking the validation and the approval of other people, but doing things in terms of reconnecting with our own light and with what gives us energy. So it is very important to understand this, because those are like the shadows of Leo many times. If this is not integrated, if this path of recognition of self-love, which is a process for all of us, it is not started, then the energy could express as seeking attention in ways that are operating in deviation of our soul. It is this defensive energy, or not able to follow the call of our heart, for fear of rejection too. So it is an opportunity to do an integration, because all of these things are very connected with the children, the child we were, and it is very important that all of us, we acquired certain conditionings that many times they are projected in our adulthood. So it is a moment to do an integration and to encourage ourselves to be who we are. To irradiate the light that each one has. So this new moon, it is given in a sextile with Mars and Jupiter in Gemini, and this is a very nice transit. But at the same time, I have to tell that this same day here in Argentina is going to be the 5th. Mercury is going to be retrograde. So Jupiter and Mars are responding to that Mercury, which is retrograde and stationary at this moment. And also Venus in Leo, which is in a square with Uranus, this same day is going to move to Virgo, which is also responding to a Mercury, which is that is retrograde. So Mercury, planet of communication, but also that rules the exchanges of information, buying things, to transfer things to. Many times when it is in its retrogradation, this could bring delays and these kind of things, especially when it starts, because it is stationary. So it is a moment to review. But although it is a moment to review past experiences, what we have been doing until this point, it is a moment to initiate, very, very open to the mistakes, very, very open to experiment. This is very important with, this Mercury retrograde, which is also going to stay going to make a square with Mars in Gemini. So, back to the sextile with Mars and Jupiter in Gemini. Mars, planet of action for our desires. Jupiter is the planet of expansion. So this is an invitation to expand ourselves, to assume the directions that we feel from our heart, to create expansion, to open ourselves to new perspectives, to open ourselves to new beliefs, and to integrate, many of the talents or many of the options that we can have. Most people have more than one talent or capacity of creativity. So wait a second. Okay. So it is very important to understand that, for example, an example that I gave in my other channel, it is if there is a person that knows how to cook but also likes to communicate, well, it is a good opportunity to integrate both, and maybe, you know, that person can begin to make videos cooking something and telling stories. Whatever thing you can do to integrate your talents, your creativity, it is a good moment to start with that. And to bear the fruits, you know, again in February of next year. Then, well, this also will have Mercury in a square with Mars in Gemini, and that's why I am telling you that it is very important to be open to the mistakes, because many times Mercury in Virgo, it is this kind of Mercury that wants everything perfect, everything functional, everything, you know, in this optimization. But well, in a square with Mars, it is about experimenting and knowing what is functioning, and you know, and being very open to learn through the mistakes. Being human is making mistakes in the way. And well, at last, you know, Jupiter in Gemini is also already gestating the square with Saturn in Pisces. I already talked about this. I'm not going to repeat this in this video. You have that video in the playlists, or I am going to put it, I don't remember. But well, this square is going to be more intensified in the second half of August, but actually it is part of the whole month. And well, Venus in Leo is still in a square with Uranus in Taurus by the moment of the new moon. So this shining our light requires also letting go of an old structure, letting go of a limiting structure, and to encourage ourselves to do a radical change, you know, to bring innovation to our experience. So the spiritual path in the end requires us to be very honest and to express ourselves from the heart. And it is not about, you know, not being who we are. On the contrary, it is about getting rid of the programmings and conditionings that are, you know, pushing us away from our own essence. It is about being who we are, because that it is the greatest contribution that we can do to the community. That's why Leo and Aquarius are complementary axes. You know, Aquarius is the community, and Leo is the identity and the light in our own center, because everybody is operating from their own center. So you know, offering all of that is the greatest contribution that we can do to the community. Well, thank you, everyone. I am ending this video here. See you in the next transmissions. Ciao, ciao.